VR FPS, VR first-person shooter games are awesome. I just experienced it recently, and I think that's super realistic and much more innovative and just a more like a real world experience. It's just super cool. So I try a few different games, and I found some games they don't really handle the rendering things too well. Would make me feel a little bit motion sick, so I didn't really play those kind of games too much. But I found one game, Population One. It's super cool because it handle the comfort, the rendering super well, and it's also a very interesting game. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, Population One is a game that launched in 2020, October 22nd, which is pretty recent, just 2 months ago. 1.5 month. Oh, sorry, it's two and a half months ago. Not too long. It's a super new game, and it just already have many downloads, many players. And so let's just talk about the comfort first. I think a lot of people will feel a strong, or at least some degree of motion sickness after playing those kind of FPS on the computer. So not even mention in the VR, it's more intense. And the key factor that you will feel motion sickness after playing the FPS in VR, it's because of how they handle rendering when you are running. So in the real world, when you're running, you actually only focus on your front side. You don't really focus on your sides too much. You only focus on the front. And some VR games, they will still render a lot of images when you are running. So they will make just flow. They will just make it too much information flow to your eyes and your brain, so that you feel sick, because there's now how we perceive vision in the real world. So in Population One, it has a mechanism is that when you actually move, when you actually run, or even just walk, it will just narrow your vision to only your front side, only your front. And that's actually the degree that you can choose. If you want to feel the most comfortable, you will just narrow it down its vision. And you can also choose to experience the full immersion. So there was, I guess I didn't try that, but I believe it would just render the whole scene to you. And I will feel a little bit dizzy after that, so I don't even try. Okay, so this is the first points, comfortability, which is pretty good, It just deal with it really well. And Population One is a VR. It actually got in terms of the game, the rating, it actually got 9 out of 10 in Steam, which is definitely tremendous result. And on the Facebook, its rating is 4.8, super high. So the way you do games is a little bit like PUBG. You will have teammates and 2 teammates, and including your team of 3. Then you will just parachute in some place in the city, Population One village, or you can whatever you call. Then you drop in a random place. You get your armors, your weapons. Then you fight with other teams, with other squads. And because of I actually also play PUBG. Even PUBG has the inbuilt audio chat, but most people actually don't use them. Don't use it unless they are already friends. People sometimes turn on the audio, but they don't really chat. So the communication among teammates in PUBG or other kind of computer first shooters, I just don't think they great. But in the VR world, just like my previous video mentioned, VR world is default social. Basically, every player, they just turn their audio on, audio chat default on, so you can read, and they also very actively using that It's because of it's a VR itself. The VR headset. When you're using VR headset, you generally stand in a very ample area. Then you do anything, and most of VR players just are very used to chatting to each others, pretty much. So it's like you are really playing the game. Like in the real world, you can talk to you can use walkie-talkie talk to your teammates immediately. So that's super cool thing. That's super cool thing because the reason I like play this kind of games is because I want the interactions with people. I want to achieve something with the team. And Population One, which is a VR game, really gives me this kind of experience. That's just so cool. And yeah, and I find the players there are quite kind, quite friendly. There's not much toxicities in the game. At least I haven't seen yet. And it's just like everyone helping each other. If there's a newbies, the kind of experienced players will just teach them. So it's super cool. And there are some different modes. You can also play with bots, or it's like co-op modes. You play with friends to combat with bots. And the most popular definitely is the squads, real person squads to real person squads. Yeah, and one thing I noticed that in Population One is everybody the health is like quite a lot. You can take maybe up to 5-6 shots until you got knocked down. So because of these kind of things, everybody can last quite long. So the way that people play is actually quite intense. It's not like just hiding. If you got one shot, you will get down. Then most people will be hiding, right? But in the Population One, most people will really fight with each other because you can take a lot of bullets. And another thing is like the pace is really fast. It's definitely much faster than PUBG because you also have the storm. They will just shrink in the area gradually. But the pace it shrinks the area is real fast. It's definitely much faster than PUBG. Sometimes I play PUBG. I just stay in the same area, just waiting to see other players. Just for 10 minutes. That's way too long. And in Population One, I think one game is around 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, even you last to the last you lasted to the end game, you will still only spend maybe 10 minutes. I feel it's very short. Okay, so that's good thing. At least I like a fast pacing game. I don't really want to wait in the rooftop for 10-15 minutes. That's just not fun for me. Okay, but anyway, that's my review for Population One. It's a super great game. I would highly recommend you to get one if you already have VR. If you don't have VR, I will also recommend to buy a VR headset to play this Population One. It's a super immersive game, and just a whole different dimension of experience. So that's all I want to tell you today. If you would like to receive more VR technology review, don't forget to subscribe. And other than that, take care, and I will see you next time.